If you like K-pop, if you like K-dramas, if you like classic rom-com tropes,
staring out the window.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yoon, and today's video I'm going to be talking about a really recent 5-star read and a very fun book I had reading, and I'm dedicating a whole video to this because I do want to fangirl about it a little bit. I want to recommend it. So to start off, it's Kat Cho's Once Upon a K-Prom and cringe. You guys, this book was so freaking fun to read. Like, what the heck? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I like K-pop, okay? I'm not as invested in the people, as bad as that sounds. I think mainly just because I just never really get into standing. Like, not that I don't get it, I just don't get into it. And the most I've like stan somebody is probably just V from BTS, and that's like about it, and Jin. But I'll like groups and all that. So this did feel kind of cringy to read because obviously it's a very what I would call like a Your Name, Wattpad-esque story, in which obviously, you know, K-pop stars a love interest and all that. But okay, so I said that. So what is Once Upon a K-Prom about? Once Upon a K-Prom is about a girl called Elena Soo, who is, I think, Korean American, and she feels kind of overlooked by her family. So because she has like really impressive sisters, and right now she feels as if her brother's like prioritized over her. She feels unwanted by her parents, basically. So she's kind of like dealing with that at home and at school because like she's just kind of also not popular at school, I guess. Like, that doesn't really matter anymore, but one reason why she feels overlooked at school is because people always call her the 5th Soo child, or so-and-so's sister, or Ethan's sister and all that. So she feels kind of like not her own person. And prom is around the corner and she doesn't want to go anymore. And one reason is because first reason is she wants to save the community center, so she wants to put the money she would have used for prom to donate. And second, the one person who promised to take her to prom isn't going to. And if you've guessed it, yes, the one who's going to take her to prom is in fact Robbie Choi, and they were childhood friends 7 years ago, but then he had to move to Seoul, and then during that time they lost contact, and he's since become a worldwide famous K-pop idol. So she doesn't want to go to prom, and she thinks that he's forgotten the promise and all that, so that's kind of why she doesn't want to go. But then one day he arrives at her doorstep, and then he's like, I'm here to fulfill our promise, I'm going to take you to prom. The thing is, will it work out with Robbie's whole new idol persona and the fact that Elena wants to save the community center? So yeah, that is basically the plot. Well, it's not really the plot, it's the introduction to the plot, because I spoil unknowingly, and I don't want to spoil this book, but the best I can give. And so yeah, let's get into the actual thing. So I had a blast reading this book, okay? I haven't had this much fun reading a book since probably Lemon. And I am doing the reading vlog for The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and I am having a lot of fun reading that too, but I have to hold myself back because it's a buddy read, so that kind of lowered it. So for now I'm not considering that because I didn't finish it. But yeah, so this book, 5 out of 5 for me. Okay, like there are some things I obviously didn't like, or some things that just didn't, just stuff like that. But when you take into account how much I freaking loved reading this book, 5 out of 5. It was so freaking fun to read. Like I read this in one go. I went to sleep at 2 and now my sleep schedule is all messed up. It's all messed up. Yeah, I finished this. I read this. I don't even know if I was like reading it at like maybe 7 p.m. and I finished like 1:30, but it was really fun. Okay, so let's talk about one reason why it's fun. I don't know what this will say about me if you have read it or you want to read it, but I related to Elena so freaking much. Like, she has got to be, of all the books I've read, the most relatable character for me. Like, I was absolutely shocked. It's just the way she thinks so much about stuff, or the way her anxiety kicks in. It's just so relatable, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this how I am? Yeah, minor crisis of like, is this how I look at other people too? Like, oh my gosh. But anyways, Elena, super relatable. I don't think I have much to say about Robbie, because obviously they had their cute moments, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, Robbie, best male lead I've ever read in so long. Not really, but such a fun, but I don't know what else to say other than that it was so fun. One thing I can say is okay, so the writing itself, nothing super remarkable about it, but I do feel like she wrote it in a way that just made it so simple to read, yet it was very engaging at the same time. And the way she wrote the emotions here, like, I felt them. Maybe it's because I related to Elena a little bit, but I felt the emotions here. Like, I felt the angst, the drama. I felt it. And what else? I feel like I actually really enjoyed how she kind of like turned it up once in a while. So we get some point of view chapters from Robbie, like very little, but it was enough to like really keep the romance and the oh my gosh moments going. And then it was mainly Elena, but then like every few chapters we get one short chapter from Robbie, but then we get an insight to the story and how he's feeling about all of this, and it makes it really cute. And then one other part that I really enjoyed is the character profile pages on this book. Like, I feel like that just really enhanced the reading and really made it like, if you love K-pop, you really will enjoy this book, because there's just so many K-pop references, and like you read stuff and you're like, I know that one. And the character profiles just made it so freaking fun to read. Like, let me show you the first one. I think it's Robbie's. Okay, so okay, here. So it like shows the character profiles, and it's so freaking fun to read that. I actually really like those pages, and they have it for all the members, but I thought it was just so fun of that. I don't even know why, but it was so cute. Like, I was like, okay, K-pop fangirls, fanboys even, will definitely enjoy this book, because there's just so many references you can get. And also, even if you're not into K-pop but you are interested in Korea or culture and stuff, this also has it. Obviously, I liked how the author tried to make it like a very normal insertion of Korean culture in here. Like, she would mention traditional foods, I think holidays. She'd use romanized Korean in here, so I thought that was really nice touch. It like really, it just made more fun for me. I liked it. And what else? Man, I don't even know. I just had a really fun time reading this book. Okay, I think I should look at my Goodreads, but I'm filming through my phone and I don't have my computer on right now. Let's see. Let me try to remember what I wrote. So I mentioned that. Oh, one thing I personally liked, so I don't know if you guys noticed it, I don't know if I've said it at any point in here, but I get very easily stressed, as you can tell from my Ivory key reading vlog. I got so stressed. But so I normally tend to avoid romance books because of the third conflict, which I am personally not a fan of, or just the many conflict tropes that are prevalent in romance. So like miscommunication, misunderstanding, love triangles, etc. Not the biggest fan of those, but for this one, it felt so fun and in a very good way, quite fanfiction-y, that the drama, I like angst when it's like done in a very specific way, and this kind of had that angst, so I really like that. And also the drama was very easy to see, like to see it coming, so I could prep myself, like prepare myself for the situation and not get as stressed. And also because like it was so easy to see, I could see how it would be resolved, so I didn't stress out too much over it, though it did stress me out sometimes. But so I think that is one reason why I also really liked it, because the conflicts in here didn't seem that bad because they were so easy to see coming, and therefore I could also see how it would be solved. So yeah, super cute. I do feel like, so from here on out it will not be spoiler free. So like I mentioned before, she feels kind of overlooked, especially in her family, by her parents, because they seem to prioritize her brother over her, especially her mom. And I feel like there could have been more closure done with that. So she seems to reach closure with all the people she's mentioned she's had like conflicts with, like her brother, an ex-friend of hers, Robbie himself, and all that. And when there was such a big focus on the mom and like her issues she has with the mom, I really would have thought there'd be a bit more of a closure. Like, I don't know if she was sticking to the fact that in Korea, at the very least, I can't say for other Asian countries, but in Korea it is like emotional connection with your parents tends to be pretty rare, I would say, or like emotional, heartfelt, close talks and all that. So I don't know if she was sticking to that, to like that aspect, but it's also the fact that of all the characters she's like mentioned the conflict with, her mom seemed to be the biggest one. So the fact that they didn't even have like an inch of closure is what really made me feel like, well, that felt really open-ended and it didn't feel satisfying, because I like, it's fiction, you know, so I assumed she would have at least, you know, you can make it a little unrealistic, but she didn't. So I thought that felt really like, it just felt really uncomfortable, because like there's really no conclusion to that, but she put so much attention on it. And I think that's it for that part. And one thing that I thought I got a little angry at, I'm not gonna lie, so I am an anxious person. I can't say I have anxiety because I never got that like officially diagnosed. I'm a very anxious, easily stressed out person, and Elena has mentioned she has anxiety. So one thing of her anxiety is that she feels the need to kind of have things planned out. Like, you say this, so I'm going to not only plan out the build up to it, but also in case anything goes wrong, like backup plans. Relatable. The thing is, one thing that got me so mad were two things relating to her anxiety. And one thing was people telling her to just loosen up, or to, it's not that serious and all that. And I'm like, that is, I feel like that people can say that in real life. So I just got angry because of, like, they don't get it, you know. But another thing that made me kind of angry was like how easily she worked through the anxiety. Because like her anxiety seemed kind of like not bad, but definitely more than definitely more than mild anxiety. So the fact that she was so easy, like it seemed like she was so easily able to kind of like work through it, just seemed really unrealistic. And I'm like, if you could make this happen, why couldn't we have closure with the freaking mom? Like, tell me why. But yeah, so that thing did make me feel a little iffy about it, like the way her anxiety was seen as, but also dealt with. You can't really deal with, but like how her anxiety was dealt with sounds wrong, but what's the best word for that? Worked through it. So yeah, that part I didn't really like, but other than that, super cute. One thing I thought was so weird, so it's romanized Korean, like I said, and there's the word hyung, right? And for those of you who don't know, hyung is what is like literally older brother, and it's what younger males call older males. You don't have to be related to that. You don't have to be related to say that. It's just like a term of addressing somebody. And I could not for the life of me figure out why reading the romanized hyung threw me off, until I realized, I looked and I paid attention to how it was spelled, and it's spelled Hyeong. And until I read this book, I knew hyung romanized as Hyung, and I was like, that's why it's so weird. Because a professor of mine did mention that the romanization of Hangul did update or something like that. So I'm wondering if that was part of it, or if maybe the author learned it romanized like that. But I was like, that is what was throwing me off, that EO and the hyung. And yeah, highly recommend. So TLDR, if you like K-pop, if you like K-dramas, if you like classic rom-com tropes, and I think that's it. If you like those three things, highly recommend Once Upon a K-Prom. Super cute. Please read it. And it's really short too. It's like 327 pages. But yeah, super short read, super cute read, super fun read. The author just has a way of writing that makes it so engaging and like fast that you just want to keep reading, and that is what I did. So Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho, 5 out of 5. Absolutely loved it. And that is all for today's video. I will see you next time. Bye.
I got a feeling for you. I could easily wake up to